Good morning. It's Anne Marie Scottson, real broker, Forest Group, and team leader of the Seven Red Properties team. So I'm continuing our little chat with regard to your offers and the post I made the other day about 4 ways to make your offer stand out. So yesterday we hit on deposit escrow and why that was important. Again, to summarize, that is simply due to psychology, where the homeowner, that the seller is feeling comfortable with, oh, they have the money to buy this house. And also, it's a way for you to also deal with any appraisal, PMI, things like that. So, if you have the extra money, great. If you don't, again, I'm going to hit on this on another video. But today, I want to hit on the least favorite of the 2 out of 4, or the second out of 4, which is price. So why is that the least favorite? So the least, everybody wants a deal. Everybody wants to get the house. My job as a buyer's agent is to get you the house at the lowest price possible. So when I do that, I'm looking at comparables, I'm looking at what's going on, market activity, things like that. In the current market, again, depending upon location, and I'm focusing mainly on New Jersey. So in other locales around the country, if you're listening to this, there may be other things that you're seeing in your markets. And you should talk to your realtor about that in terms of strategy. But strategy is key. So even in a bidding war situation where you've got multiple offers or an area that tends to get them, we need to discuss price. So the first thing, as I mentioned, is comps. We need to make sure that the offer you're putting in is not something that's not going to appraise, because the seller will not accept that offer, especially if there's no appraisal contingency in there. We'll hit on that in a second. The other issue is affordability. So if you can't afford to go above asking or even afford the full price and we think we're getting a deal on it, if it's in an area that the houses are getting a ton of showings, tons of offers, we might have to re strategize and figure out a better way to get you the house you want, perhaps in another area, town, neighborhood, whatever, and then make sure that we understand what those numbers look like. Or sometimes we've had to make the hard conversations, or decisions to perhaps cancel showing houses for a little bit until the interest rates come down. Because that's the other issue is right now, today, you're looking at 6.5% to 7.25 on interest rates, depending on how much you're putting down and the type of loan. So, we're never going to get 3% again, but hopefully they'll come down enough that somebody might feel comfortable. But they always say, date the rate, marry the house. And I'm not so keen on that one, because you need to feel comfortable from the get go. But we will have those conversations. So if you are in a position that you can comfortably go above asking, then we're going to have a conversation on how to do that. Create the offer so that it's clear with regard to how much you're putting down for good faith, how much you're putting down for your total deposit, and some other things that we'll hit on as well in the coming days to make your offer look strong. So to summarize, again, price has to be in agreement to what the market is in that area. If it's not, you're not going to be overpricing yourself for a house. I've seen nightmares in that situation. And I see when they go back on the market and those homeowners are now realizing they overpaid for the house in the neighborhood that they really wanted to be in. And that's a problem. So we don't want that. The other thing we want to do is make sure you can afford it and you're comfortable. And if not, then we make an agreement to look somewhere else and figure out another strategy. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, there's plenty of homes out there, and there's opportunity to get that house or the house at the best price possible. So with that, stay tuned for tomorrow for number 3. Another one of folks' least favorites, but it's a good one because I can explain some other detail that from a legal standpoint you need to be mindful of. So have a great day. See you tomorrow.